my name is Karen, and I'm from Phoenix, Arizona. I was 22 years old when I had my abortion. I had been married for a little over a year, and we had a 7-month-old baby girl. My husband was between jobs when I became pregnant with our second. When I told him the news, he was anything but happy. He got angry and we fought. He argued, how in the world were we going to support another child? Then out of the blue, he insisted that I have an abortion. I was in shock and disbelief. I called my mom, and to my surprise, she sided with my husband and told me, quote, to get rid of it. I felt rejected and abandoned. I was scared he would follow through with his threat of leaving me and our child, so out of fear, I called and scheduled the appointment to terminate my pregnancy. I wish it would have been harder to arrange at the hospital, but because it was legal and covered under our insurance plan, I went through with it. The day of my abortion, my baby was not the only one that died. Abortion seemed so accepted by society, but afterwards I felt so isolated and alone. Our relationship and once happy life together spiraled downward. We numbed our pain with cigarettes, alcohol, and drugs. On the outside, I remained cool and collected. After all, no one could know the secret I kept buried deep inside. No one could ever know the horrible sin that kept me from being the person I used to be. A few years after my abortion, I followed my dream and went to nursing school to be a pediatric nurse. I had worked for 2 years in hospitals at Stanford and the Children's Cancer Ward, but after my abortion, I quit my career as a nurse. I didn't know why at the time, but since have learned that it is not uncommon for post-abortive women to move away from something that subconsciously reminds them of their loss. I spent the next 22 years suffering in silence, riddled with shame, guilt, and self-hatred. There were countless nights I cried myself to sleep, longing to hold my baby. I wondered what our child would have looked like or grown up to be, and my husband and I drifted further and further apart. About 12 years ago, I went to an Arizona Right to Life talk at my church with my best friend. The talk was inspiring, and afterwards, I mustered up the courage to tell her my secret. We stepped into the chapel, and I told her about my abortion. I expected rejection, pity, and disgust. Instead, I received acceptance, non-judgment, and sympathetic love and support. I couldn't believe it. She hugged me and she told me she loved me. That night, something in me changed and I started to heal. I am not alone. I have heard many stories like mine. There are millions of men and women suffering in silence. An unexpected pregnancy can cause us to act out of fear and panic. What we need is compassion. We already judge ourselves. God knows our hearts, even though so many have been hardened with denial and pain. I used to say I was pro-choice. After all, how could I say I was pro-life? I would be a hypocrite. But God kept putting people in my path to help me stand up for what I truly believed in my heart. Life is precious, and all lives are precious. Love and respect will win over hatred and judgment. For everyone out there suffering in silence, know that there is hope and healing available and that you are loved. You never know who is suffering in silence. It could just be your best friend. If you or someone you know has been touched by abortion, there's a beautiful healing retreat available called Rachel's Vineyard, which you've heard several times before here. It has helped me immensely through my healing journey. God bless you all and all of our lost children. I have now named my son and have given him the dignity he deserves. He will no longer be kept a secret. He is a part of me and always will be. I will never forget telling our story, and we will be silent no more.